Welcome to February, where this week is International Flirting Week from the 13th to the 19th, and also National Condom Week from the 14th to the 21st. Coincidence? Tomorrow is Valentines Day, and while it may be a little late to get this out for this year, keep it in mind for next year or even future holidays. Zazzle.com has zombie greeting cards that you can customize and have sent to you with envelopes so you can give them away to your loved ones. You may still have time to make this Valentine's bleeding heart over at Instructables.com. When you cut into it, it bleeds all over the plate. February also has National Tooth Fairy Day on the 28th. And no, that's not celebrating a Dwayne Johnson movie. We dispatched our special reporter Daryl, that guy with a face for radio, out to DEDfest on Friday night. He says, "Hi to Jason and Lynette, congrats on your marriage, hope you enjoy your honeymoon, and we're sorry you'll be missing the next presentation at DEDfest." It was announced that the next presentation will be the 35mm print edition of American Werewolf in London on March 11th. They'll also be having another DEDfest 666 short film contest, so keep your eyes peeled for all the details. The 3 short films presented on Friday were great. The Revenger was a slight audience favorite though. Very, very close, and it just goes to show how much talent it takes to produce these films in less than a week. Are you also aware that March is going to be National Caffeine Awareness Month? It's the world's most popular drug, and I'm totally not addicted. You can stop me anytime you want. You'll just have to live with the bitchiness for a few weeks. Besides being International Mirth Month, March also has Dr. Seuss's birthday, Mardi Gras, and the beginning of Lent. I'm sure all of you makeup artists will be busy doing body painting for Mardi Gras, so have fun and post your artwork when you get a chance. We hope that you're enjoying February as the Women of Horror Month. Here's a few ladies that some of you Edmontonians might enjoy. Madame Talbot's Victorian Lowbrow and Gothic Lowbrow, which is the opposite of highbrow the way, offers all sorts of intriguing posters, curio cabinets, and vintage items. I've got a few pieces of her artwork, and I recommend having a look yourself. Brittany Jade from the Day of the Women's blog. She's one of the coolest horror fangirls going and focuses on the feminine side of horror, and she's great at it. Peace, love, brains. Next we've got the Krafty Kreep from Toronto. She supported us at DEDfest last year with a giveaway at the screening of The Human Centipede, and her crafty little fingers keep on crafting. She makes jewelry, keychains, and even cufflinks that sold before we could get our own little pumpkin hands on them. I believe that all of you Edmontonians should keep an eye out for her. There are many Edmontonian ladies of horror as well. If you've been to any of the parades we've been in the last couple of years, you've probably seen a bloody zombie and her 2 creepy kids. That's Alyssa and her daughters Brooke and Cheyenne. It's great seeing a mother bringing out the best in her children and starting a whole new generation of creepiness. We also have to mention Tina from the Sands Tour of Terror and Brittany from the Haunted Hike. Between them they've raised several tens of thousands of dollars from their individual invented missions to give to the Stollery Children's Hospital Foundation. Now, this team couldn't do it alone. They've had help from their family, their friends, and an army of volunteers. But these ladies put in so much work that I think they earn the title of Women in Horror. Speaking of the Sands Tour of Terror, have a look at their Facebook page, as they're already looking for volunteers to help organize their event. The acting volunteers are going to come a little bit later in the year, but keep an eye on their page. I'm sure the Haunted Hike and other venues will need some as well. We'll let you know when we hear. I also want to send a salute out to a whole group of ladies around Edmonton that, though maybe not ladies of horror in the traditional sense, bring their own brand of horror to their opponents, the E-Ville Roller Derby Girls. Besides having the coolest name in sports, these fearsome ladies put a hurt on those who oppose them, and they're nice enough to skate with us in parades, when they're not running their own float, that is. Keep an eye out for them before, they claw your eyes out. Yeah, it's against the rules, but whatever. Hauntcast is back with another great episode. Thanks for the shout out, guys. There's a great segment in this episode called The Devil is in the Details, and Den Haunt also gives a great audio how-to. Though, if you subscribe to Hauntcast for a year, you can also get to see the videos to see what he's talking about. Sometimes you can't fit all of your interviews or notes into a single episode, so since last episode, we've had 2 special report editions, like some of the other notable podcasts out there. The Rue Morgue podcast is now joining the Rue Morgue radio show. Make sure you give them a listen. You can subscribe via iTunes or download episodes. Rotting Flesh Radio is back with their podcast as well, with lots of details on the upcoming haunt conventions, including an interview with Matt from the Canadian Haunters Convention. You can also find the dates of all of the upcoming haunt conventions, and links to their websites, off of our very own calendar at dedmonton.com/calendar. We'd love to make it out to both the Canadian Haunters Convention and the West Coast Haunters Convention, which are happening the same weekend in May. on opposite sides of the continent. So if any of you have a cloning machine that you can lend us, please contact us. Speaking of conventions, it looks like Edmonton is heading down to the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo June 17th through 19th. We hope to see some of you Edmontonians come by the booth and say hi. We also want to promote the Edmonton Haunt and Horror talent, so ask us how we can do that for you. Normally, the Edmonton Bone Wagon Association doesn't get their machines too active in these winter months, but recently you may have seen a 60 caddy hearse in mid-restore on the back of a flatbed. This beauty is owned by Billy, and when it's finished it's going to be stopping traffic when she drives by. Some of you are familiar with the Bone Wagons here in Edmonton, and others may have just seen them in some of the parade entries or at the Rock and August International Car Show every year, where they've got a big display. But many of you don't realize that they meet, like on Saturday, talk hearses, and venture down to hearse conventions like the one in Denver that they've been to. They also had a big convoy to Red Deer last fall for the Z99 Haunted House, plus appeared in several other haunt and retailers here in Edmonton. If you get a chance, stop by, appreciate the rides, or even talk cars with them, do so. They're a great bunch of guys and gals and Halloweenies through and through. As we're on the topic of hearses and music, remember that every Tuesday is Creepy Tombsday at DV8 Pub, where Dylan and Sandra will be your hosts with the ghosts and spinning scary, horror punk, rockabilly, and other spooky genres of tunes. Make sure you get down and give them your requests. Finally, for all you zombie lovers in Edmonton, there is another Edmonton Zombeers event coming up on Sunday, February 27th. Details on their Eventbrite page, or follow the Yeg Zombeers hashtag on Twitter. Maybe we'll even have a copy of Reanimated Edmonton for you to see. Well, till next time, remember to stay undead. I'm Pumpkin Ed.